Am I the a-hole for refusing to cancel child support? I, 34 male, have been taking care of my sister's, 32 female, daughter for around 6 years. This all started when my sister got arrested for felony theft and drug charges. She's been a long-time addict, poor mouther, and family manipulator. No one else in my family stepped up, so I offered to take my niece in while my sister did drug treatment to avoid jail. From the beginning, my niece, then around 10, didn't want anything to do with her mom. I thought that was odd, but over the first few months I had her, my niece opened up about her mom having treated her very poorly. I sought a guardianship for my niece, and told my sister that I would not willingly send my niece back to her unless my sister got off the drugs and sorted her life out. My sister initiated a legal fight with me to terminate the guardianship. I grew to love this kid like my own, and I didn't want to send her back to a bad environment. It cost me 6 figures over the course of a year and a half in legal fees. I won. I managed to marshal substantial evidence of my sister's ongoing substance abuse, and the court relied upon the report of a court-appointed guardian ad litem who reported favorably about my niece in my care and about my niece's negative view of her mother. At some point in the legal process, as I was shelling out 5-figure monthly legal bills, I learned that, as my niece's guardian, I was entitled to child support, so I filed the forms to seek it, and won it. The state oversees the support award, and is apparently pretty thorough in seeking it, garnishing paychecks and bank accounts. Now years on, I am starting to get pressure from other family to forgive the child support. I have family reaching out to me saying my sister is doing better and just can't get ahead, having to give up portions of her paycheck every month. With back amounts, it's like $30K in back support that I am owed. I don't need it, really, if I'm being honest. I make a good living, better than anyone else in my family has done. In all likelihood, sister's debt, it will never be paid in full. But I don't want to let it go. I've started telling relatives, hey, that's great that you want to help, sister, why don't you pay me her $30K debt plus the present value of the award until niece is 18, and then I'll forgive sister's obligation. Relatives have been huffy at that response. My sister initiated a fight with me knowing full well she was back on drugs, and lied about it, and got caught in open court. It was all a waste of a large amount of money, in my prime years, that I would have otherwise saved and set aside to retire on, or pay for my niece's education. I'm still mad about it, and my sister can owe me it forever for all I care. Am I the a-hole?
Not the a-hole. I hope your niece is doing well. The money is for her care. Any relatives with an opinion are free to contribute.
She's a very normal, well-adjusted teenage girl, which is everything I hoped for. I never intended to have children. I didn't have a great childhood, and kids looked to me like a lot of potential heartache. I just wanted to work in my field and afford a good life. But I've learned I was missing a lot. Having her future to look forward to and to be there for has made my life richer.
That is awesome. I am so glad it is turning out well for both of you. By the way, not the a-hole.
OP, the hero of his niece, literally changed his niece's life. What an upstanding human being.
Not the a-hole. You need to remind your family that the child support your sister is paying is not for you, her brother. It is for her daughter. The fact that you can afford to pay for the daughter's care is irrelevant. That money can go into a college fund if you want. Also, where's the child's father in this picture? He owes child support, too. Kudos to you for stepping up to care for your niece. You have spared her from a lifetime of harm.
It was never clear who the father was. Edit, I admit that I am jealously glad for that at this point. He's trash, in all likelihood, and even though I'm her uncle, it feels easier that I'm the only dad she's ever had.
That's valid.
LMAO, so your family wants you to stop taking money that would have gone to this child regardless? Definitely not the a-hole. Well done for stepping up and changing the course of this baby's life. Don't cancel the child support, because the same PPL pushing you to do so are probably not even chipping in financially and didn't step up to take the child.
I think they all know that money wouldn't have gone to the child regardless. They know it would have gone to drugs first. Helping OP's sister with child support now is just admitting they should have helped sooner and didn't.
Am I the a-hole for disciplining my daughter for exposing her bully's abortion? Since they were 11 years old, my daughter, 16 female, has been best friends with a girl who I'll call Sky. They both bonded over being rather quirky and overachieving girls. Throughout the years, my daughter stayed quirky while Sky matured quicker. She started wearing makeup, dating, going to parties, etc. Despite their differences, they still remained close until last year. Sky ended up getting pregnant with one of the popular girl's boyfriend. She got an abortion, and my daughter accompanied her for support. A few days later, a rumor started spreading about the abortion. Sky automatically assumed it was my daughter for some reason and turned everyone in their friend group against her. After that, my daughter gained a reputation of being a snitch who spreads rumors about her own best friends. My daughter was miserable at school. She didn't have a single friend and would spend every lunchtime sulking by herself. I've tried going to the teachers, but they said that exclusion is not bullying and you can't force kids to be friends with someone. Sky recently found out the real culprit behind the rumor, the popular girl whose boyfriend got Sky pregnant. My daughter tried to make things up with Sky now that the situation was all sorted, but Sky decided to continue scapegoating my daughter because she didn't want to stand up to the popular kids. I have tried supporting my daughter, signing her up for therapy sessions, encouraging her to make new friends, but she still regularly came home crying over Sky, saying that it's her fault everyone at school hates her. A few days ago, Sky's parents made a social media post pretty much denouncing their daughter. Apparently, someone sent them an anonymous email giving them proof exposing their daughter's behavior, including getting an abortion, having several ex-boyfriends' girlfriends, being bisexual, smoking marijuana, vaping, and getting drunk. I asked my daughter if she had anything to do with it. She admitted that she told Sky's parents, knowing full well how religious and conservative they are. She even bragged about how her actions resulted in Sky getting kicked out the house, dropping out of school, and becoming homeless. I know she's hurting, but that's no excuse to put a child in that situation. I want to give her a punishment, grounding her, confiscating her phone MacBook, deleting her social media, making her get a part-time job, anything to teach her the consequences of her actions. But my husband thinks my reaction is too extreme. He said Sky ruined our daughter's social life and she was only getting payback. He told me that punishing our daughter would be teaching her to become a doormat who never stands up for herself. He said our daughter did nothing wrong, exposing Sky's delinquent behavior, and accused me of prioritizing a bully over our own child. Am I the a-hole?
You are the a-hole, so your daughter was emotionally abused and socially outcast for something she didn't do. And then Sky continued to do so even after she knew your daughter did nothing wrong? So she told the truth to Sky's parents? I mean, this seems like a case of fuck around find out. Your daughter was nothing but a friend to Sky, and even after she found out that your daughter didn't betray her trust, she continued to treat her poorly and encourage others to do so. Sky's actions have led to this. You want to punish your daughter when your daughter really only did this because she has had no other recourse to defend herself, and no other adults are holding Sky accountable for her abusive behavior? Your daughter isn't responsible for Sky's behavior or the actions of her parents. Maybe she shouldn't have told her parents the truth. But I think punishing a child for resorting to the only way they know how to advocate for themselves when clearly no one else is extreme. Your child was a scapegoat and a doormat for a year. Why do you have more empathy and compassion for someone else's kid who has continued to make poor choices and emotionally abuse your child, instead of for your actual child who has been punished enough for trying to support her?
This is exactly my take too. OP failed her child and now wants to punish her for setting the record straight with her parents. OP is definitely the you are the a-hole here. Basically, she sat back and did nothing for her own child, but now Sky is in a bind, and she is willing to go nuclear on her? With a mom like that, who needs bullies?
Exactly. I don't even understand all of the not the a-hole votes honestly. Also, Sky doesn't deserve her trust or loyalty with how she's treated her. Like, who expects someone to keep their secrets when they continuously abuse them? This is why kids commit suicide, stuff like this. Also, the mom encouraging her to make friends. What kind of support is that when the whole school because of SKYE is calling her a snitch? You aren't entitled for someone to protect you if you abuse and mistreat them. Can't believe that's a hot take.
Should your daughter have told Sky's parents? No. But you are wildly off base if you think your daughter's actions resulted in Sky being kicked out of the house and becoming homeless. This was Sky's parents' doing. If you want to punish your daughter, fine, but make sure it's for the right reasons, not for the significant sins of Sky's parents. I'd also like to say, it would be nice if your daughter was saintly. But she's not. She's human. After more than a year of emotional abuse, I can't blame her for taking a certain amount of glee in Sky's situation.
This was Sky's parents' doing. To be fair, the daughter only did what she did because she knew how the parents would react. I mean, if I drop you in a coliseum with a hungry lion, the lion might be the one to actually kill and eat you. But I definitely share responsibility, since I knew what the lion would do and only dropped you in there because I wanted it to happen.
Okay, decent point. But, and not to sound ridiculous, people aren't lions. A lion isn't able to look at the situation and consider his behavior. People are. But still, good point.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos.